Hi, guys. Quick announcement. This story has some unsettling topics and trigger words. If you're struggling with things such as self harm, I've put some helpful links in the description. If this type of story is not your cup of tea, please, please, please do not watch. And if you are unaffected, just proceed with caution. And again, stay safe and healthy and happy. Again, there's helpful links in the description, and I hope that you guys enjoy the story. Thank you. I pulled into the packed grocery store parking lot, scanning the aisles for an empty space. With no luck whatsoever, I gave up and decided to park in the very back. I was feeling good and the weather was perfect, so I didn't mind walking the extra distance. As I drove towards the back of the lot, I could see storm clouds marring the sunny sky in that one particular area. When I parked my car and got out, I immediately spotted an old, beaten up looking shopping cart under a large, sprawling oak tree. It was severely rusted and one of the wheels appeared to be loose. Clearly, nobody's first choice. It started raining hard all at once, but only where I was standing. I definitely thought that was odd, but my attention was quickly diverted back to the cart. I can't really explain the feeling that came over me. I looked at the broken down old buggy and felt something I can only describe as pity. I decided to grab the cart and make a run for it towards the store. The rain seemed to follow me all the way. Once I was inside the store, I pulled the grocery list I had written from my purse. There wasn't a lot on it, just a few things I needed: some noodles, milk, cheese, yogurt, tissue paper. The cart emitted all manner of annoying and disconcerting noises as I made my way up and down the aisles. It squeaked loudly, and the broken wheel made it impossible to turn smoothly. But I stubbornly continued on, putting item after item inside my dilapidated new companion. I went to put a container of yogurt in the cart when I saw it. A bottle of bleach that wasn't there just seconds before. It wasn't on my list. I didn't put it there. It was at that precise moment that I was hit with an overwhelming feeling of dread. My body tensed up and my hands gripped the cart handle, unable to move. A wave of confusion and intense anxiety poured over me. I couldn't take my eyes off the bleach. Then I heard it. A man's voice that apparently only I could hear. "Drink it," the voice said, a gentle suggestion at first. I looked around, but there was no one near me. My right hand released the handle of the cart and began to tremble. I began reaching for the large white bottle inside of the cart, but was able to stop myself. "Drink it," the voice growled angrily. I slowed my breathing and regained some of my composure, but I knew I wasn't fully in control. I watched my hands grip the cart handle again, pushing it forward. I became increasingly terrified with each unwilling step I took. A minute or so later, though it felt like an eternity, I found myself in the kitchenware section of the store. My field of vision became filled with shelves and shelves of razor-sharp cutlery. I watched helplessly as complete strangers passed me, desperately begging them for help with my eyes. When I looked back at the cart, I saw a large serrated chef's knife waiting for me inside. "Cut," the voice said. I was suddenly struck with an incredibly vivid mental image that made me feel like my heart was going to explode. I could see myself tearing the packaging open and removing the long knife. Before I could even register another thought, I felt blood dripping down my neck, spurting out. Customers continued to walk casually by me like nothing out of the ordinary was happening. "Keep cutting. Deeper. You can do it," the voice repeated in an encouraging tone over and over. Then I felt myself snap back to reality. There was no blood or pain, and the knife was still sitting in my cart in its packaging. I started moving again, a white-knuckled grip on the handle as I marched further into hell. A million thoughts raced through my mind at once. Was this a dream? No, I knew I wasn't dreaming. A psychotic break of some kind? I've never had any issues with mental illness. It's the shopping cart. This cart is evil. It seemed too absurd to even fathom, but it was the only conclusion my frantic mind could piece together in that moment. I looked up and saw a big hanging sign that said hardware, and my heart sunk. The cart made a sharp right turn down an aisle that was filled with tools. When I glanced at the reciprocating saw, I experienced another horrifying vision. I could hear the high-pitched whine of the blade as it moved rapidly back and forth, slicing my flesh with petrifying efficiency. The voice began laughing hysterically as the blade cut into bone and severed 3 of my fingers clean off. An unseen force guided my eyes over to a hammer on the left side of the cart. "Smash your skull," the voice yelled. "Smash it!" My hand began shaking again, and this time I knew that I couldn't stop it. I picked up the hammer, feeling the textured rubber grip on the handle. I turned it around so the claw part of the hammer was facing me. I heard the voice quietly whisper its final words. "There's no point. You are nothing." As I stood in the middle of the aisle holding the hammer, I could hear the sound of my skull cracking open. And again, the blood pouring down my face. I felt the searing pain of the metal claw embedded in my head, but it wasn't real, I reminded myself. Not yet. My eyes were fixed hard on the hammer in my shaking hand. I struggled with every fiber of my being to hold it back. Just as my last ounce of willpower was stolen from me, I felt the shopping cart being ripped from my hands. The teenage boy who worked at the store was staring back at me with a concerned expression. I immediately regained full control of my mind and body. "What just happened?" is all I could say, almost afraid to even draw a breath. The young employee glanced at the cart and back to me. "Nobody uses this cart. It's evil. Why do you think we put it all the way in the back of the parking lot?" Thanks so much for listening, guys. A quick shout out to my patrons: Kevin Kess, Sabiel Eclipse, 055555, Cormac Wells, Amara, Matthew Steiner, Cupcake Hips, Alonzo, Mr. Sankofa, Michael Milburn, Kozak, Icy Narrates, Jesse Hartley, Eric Cifuentes, Andreas Anderson London, Lawrence Wallen, Geek Sanctuary, Melissa Perez, and this guy. That is someone's actual username. I love that. Thanks again so much for watching, guys. If there's anything you would like me to pray for, I would love to know how I can be praying for you. I hope you have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video.